You're listening to Miscast Commentary, where two guys have seen way too many movies and have way too much time on their hands.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
Now here's your hosts, Joe Finley and Todd Murray.
Hey everybody, welcome to Miscast Commentary. I'm Joe Finley.
I'm Todd Tebow, the Sailor Murray.
Tons to talk about. Make sure you stay till the end because we have our interview with Andrew Cassese today, and you're going to hear even more from him next week when we do the movie that we're talking about, which we'll get to all that in a little bit.
After credit scene.
No doubt.
Oh yeah, it's going to blow your mind.
Yeah, you better believe it. Tons to talk about today. We've got, right off the bat, the new Spider-Man No Way Home trailer. I was going to say Far From Home, and I knew that was incorrect.
But wasn't the name of the other one?
That was the last one.
A little close on the old titles here.
Homecoming, Far From Home, No Way Home. And then the next one is House Party 3.
Ooh!
Yeah. It's
House Party!
Spider-Man is Miles Morales is in it. He's played by Play.
Oh my god.
And
Kid's not in it.
No.
They broke up a long time ago.
Yeah, it was the right thing to do. But it's really sad because you still see Kid in like parks, and he's trying to do that like hook the foot dance with nobody. Why did you leave? You left.
I'm itching.
Welcome back. So we wanted to actually watch the No Way Home trailer.
Yeah.
And we wanted to react to it, and so we're actually going to keep the volume up for that so you can hear this. I don't know if it's going to demonetize, but we're not a monetized podcast anyway. So here we go.
We will be.
We will be.
Oh my god. There's up from Melina. Electrocution Man.
Oh, yes, that's his official name.
Oh, here we go. It's raining. He looks all... Looks really Andrew Garfield in that one. He's really
Yes.
whiny.
Well, he's been through the ringer.
My life has felt normal.
Oh man, Tony Stark Jr.
Yeah.
What a tough world.
Well, that's what they're saying. I guess one of the brothers there, Joe Russo, said that he's like he is the heart and soul now of like everything going on. But they said that Doctor Strange is going to be kind of at the center of everything.
Oh fuck.
So, what I really love about this trailer,
Goblin.
the thing that I hated the most about the other Spider-Man movies is the thing I love the most about this one is too many bad guys. This one has every Spider-Man bad guy in it, pretty much. So we got Doc Ock.
Well, that's why they're gonna have all the Spider-Men to fight them.
Yeah. So there you go.
Alfred Molina's looking pretty good, actually.
Yeah. So he just realizes that he's not the Peter he's thinking. So this is actually kind of hinting that Doc Ock is going to be like a good guy in this.
Because he's from the wrong dimension.
Mm-hmm. So he realizes what's going on and he's going to help. So he's got some weird power with that suit.
It's not the right Doctor Strange.
That's been a constant theory, and because it ties to a lot of what if stuff that was going on too. Although that's not technically part of like MCU canon.
This really see him with his black suit on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know. It's like, which one are you going to see? So they're teasing a lot of different guys here too. There's a lot of bad guys to deal with. So this is the thing: is he's basically telling him that all of these bad guys die by Spider-Man's hand, so he has to kill all the bad guys. And he's saying he won't do it.
Well, pull you out of your body routine.
Yeah, it's an old trope, but it works.
They're a danger to our universe.
Oh man! So they changed Electro. He doesn't look all
he's not
anymore.
blue and everything.
So I like that. Well, I think they made it tech like Vulture.
It's gonna be terrible because he's gonna take all the bad guys on and beat them all in like half an hour.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they don't even come
what I
until
mean?
the last 10 minutes. So that was something big going on.
There's Lizard.
Lizard and Sandman.
I didn't see Sandman. I just saw Lizard.
There
he is.
Yeah, he's
giant sandstorm.
Somebody pointed out in shot. I'll talk about it when this is done. So they're fighting on top of the thing. Somebody had a theory that this is going to somehow
out of there. She said it was a goddamn liability. What the fuck's she even doing there?
Right. All Spider-Man girls.
Should have broken up there a long time ago. Her life's in danger every time she hangs out. You selfish prick.
Right. Well, I mean, Superman was all about Lois Lane. Love it. I like that because
Who's coming through? Thanos?
Well, he just said they're starting to come through. It didn't say what. So
what
that
do you
is.
think it is?
I think that that's going to be the other No, I
It's
think
all
that's
the
going to be the
Spider-Man.
spider folks. So yeah, it was
Andrew
cool.
Garfield.
But people, because I mean, everybody's like, well, you don't see any of the other Spider-Man, and we all know that all the other Spider-Men are going to be in it.
Oh my god.
But what was
I have to
interesting,
show you everything.
right? Well, but I guess somebody saw in that one spot where there were the 3 bad guys and Spider-Man was coming at them. If you look really close and slow it down, Lizard is going forward, and then you see his head go like, "Urgh," like this, and they're like, what made him do that? So they think they actually CG'd out the other 2 Spider-Men in that scene. So that's an interesting.
So they went
theory.
through the ad like clip by clip by clip by clip by clip.
Yeah.
Clip.
Oh, well, it's a constant thing now, and it's like a funny joke, but it's actually the truth. Is that the day after one of these trailers comes out, there will be a 40-minute video dedicated to the 2-minute trailer.
Right.
And they go down frame by frame.
They
and they're
go
like, "Here's-"
down.
So you could see in the background this actor's there, so that's proof that this is happening. And then there's this. There's also now rumors. Well, I think all but confirmed at this point that that Daredevil is in the movie. And then
What about Kingpin?
that's the next part is they've been asking him, and everybody's deny. Everybody's going shaggy on this.
come on.
Wasn't me.
Going shaggy.
But they should be like that's.
on the old Scooby snacks.
This is the problem. Is everybody wants all this shit ruined for them. Why would you like? Again, we've talked about it a million times in the past. I miss the old days of about a month before a movie comes out, you get a trailer for it, and you're like, oh my god!
And that's it.
And that's it. You haven't heard about casting the whole way through. You haven't heard about behind the scenes photos. You haven't heard of, like anything. They're like, oh, this person was spotted on set. That means this is happening. This, I'm like, why do you want to ruin it?
The dirt sheet.
Like, if you didn't know a thing about this
Those are
Spider-Man,
Christmas peekers.
yeah. No, but if you didn't know anything about this Spider-Man, and then it got surprised that original Doc Ock, like friggin' Alfred Molina and Willem Dafoe show up, and then
Shouldn't
the
even have
guys
a
from the
trailer.
other ones, what?
It should just say Spider-Man No Way Home.
Yep.
And it's just a blank screen. You're like, oh, Spider-Man! You know what I mean? Like, or whatever.
Yeah.
That's it. They don't show you anything. You just know the movie is coming out.
It's just the director, and they're just sitting there, and they pick up a Spider-Man and go, hey, you know this guy? He's got a new movie coming out. Why don't you come? You'll know
Like, you're going to be there anyways.
you're coming.
Why do they have to show anything?
Something else we didn't actually talk about just because it was still too spoilery at the time, with the Eternals, as they've now kind of officially come out and stuff with Harry Styles. He was
As
in
Blade.
Yes, he is Blade. No, but
Wow.
Harry Styles plays Eros, who is Thanos' brother, also known as Star Fox, who
Star Fox?
yes.
Oh my god.
Do a barrel roll.
Slippy, you bastard.
But so they finally have like been welcoming him to the MCU because they weren't able to talk about it before because it was a post-credit scene, but now everybody who's going to see the movie has seen it. Which was me, which was the 9 people who were with me in that thing. But
I'm skipping it.
yeah, so that's it's you'll get there one day. But then the next thing we wanted to talk about, the Disney Plus Day, where they can just like they just like jizzed out announcements at us,
teasers
like holy
galore.
crap. So some of the ones they showed us, and I mean, it's a bummer that you only got a few seconds. But again, I just finished saying, why are they
She-Hulk's
showing us
my
everything?
jam.
She-Hulk, Moon Knight, and Ms. Marvel all got little you got a little bit of
I
footage.
thought they were fake at first.
Yeah,
You know, like when fake ones come out, I'm like, oh, here we go. And then something just like Jurassic Park pan over. I'm like, wait a fucking minute. Like,
the little shots you get, like I just instantly I feel like Moon Knight is gonna be dope. Like it was just like you just see Oscar Isaac and you're like, oh,
moon it up. What is Moon Knight? What's his fucking deal?
Oh, he's a Moon Knight. It's fine.
Moonlight.
Don't worry about him.
Does he have a rhyme? He says like, oh, dark.
Yes.
Moonlight.
Yeah, no, he just says he sarcastically says the Green Lanterns.
Oh, cool.
Thing. And then somebody was mad because they're like, oh, they totally changed Ms. Marvel and her powers are totally different now.
She's
or
a stretchy
something.
girl, right?
But
She was stretchy.
But I don't know. Like, I guess somebody looked at a picture and they're like, oh, I guess she's just the Green Lantern now.
No,
but I'm like,
she's
it's just a
stretchy.
picture. And I was like, well, I don't know. I haven't seen her use her powers in this show. But yeah, my understanding is she's stretchy, but I don't know. So, but at the same time, I'm just like, ugh, like it's instantly, you got like, you didn't even get 8 seconds of seeing her and you're like, oh, they've already ruined it. And I'm like, fuck, all right, whatever.
Yep,
But
sure
the
did.
The girl playing
Should have Mindy Kaling.
That would be amazing. But the girl playing Ms. Marvel is actually from Scarborough, Ontario.
No.
Yeah.
So now Shang-Chi, Canadian.
The 6 is well represented in the MCU.
Drake's going to be the next one.
He's working his way in.
Oh, yeah. He's going to be Galactus.
So we had those. Also had a very quick shot for Secret Invasion, which is going to be its own show.
Oh, yeah. That was cool.
Which included a shot
just the thing it's saying Secret Invasion. I was like, whoa.
But it also included a shot of Nick Fury, live action Nick Fury, who's older and he's got like a grayish kind of beard, and he doesn't have his patch on and stuff like that. So that was pretty cool.
He's got his fake eye in.
The official
googly as fuck.
The official announcement for Agatha, House of Harkness.
Yeah, they just like pull the title up.
Yeah, you didn't because they haven't shot it yet.
Oh, there it is.
They haven't shot it yet.
There's the font,
right? And then it
was a good font.
Yeah, and then they're doing a Marvel Zombies animated series.
That's a lot of shit, man.
Right, and again, this is spreading over a chunk.
I want to see the next Avengers movie, man. Come on.
I know. Well, it's
the fucking team together.
Well, the problem is they have to build a new team.
Well, get to building.
They're working on it. We've got a couple of them.
Man.
And then just something I just saw today, actually, but it was part of the Disney Plus Day stuff. I just didn't see it. Rescue Rangers is coming back.
No way.
But they're going to be voiced by. They're going to change the voices.
Seth Rogen and Sacha Baron Cohen.
You're not that far off. No, it's Andy Samberg and John Mulaney.
Oh my god!
But they're gonna change their voice to be Chip and Dale. But it's gonna be like what they did with what's it called with Alvin and the Chipmunks, right? Where it was like Justin Long and like all those guys. It was stars doing the voices and the performance, but it's just they sound like Chip and Dale. So there was that. The Nat Geo also has 2 new shows coming out. One, Will Smith's Welcome to Earth, which is just him traveling the world.
So welcome to Will Smith's Earth.
Yeah. Well, just my thinking of Independence Day, it was more Welcome to Earth. But,
he shows you where they bought the red table.
Yeah.
Where his wife sits him down weekly to shame him publicly.
Oh, my God.
No wonder he's getting the fuck out of there.
Yeah. It's like, to me, I was like, well, he even said in an interview recently, he's like that she like doesn't satisfy him in any way. I'm like, divorce is okay. Yeah, like I know you have a lot of money, but like you can make more.
She seems like a total bitch.
Yeah, I feel like
you sit here and you tell me why you fucked our marriage and our lives. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, and we're gonna do it in public too.
Yeah, let's air all this shit out. Like, why? What is the point?
Yeah, she's become a bit much. Because she did that whole thing too. It was the during the Oscar So White thing, right? And she just had this whole like, you guys do you. I'm gonna do me. Like I'm just like, okay.
You do you, Jada.
I was like, and I get.
I'll do me later.
And don't get me wrong.
Dildo.
Yeah, there you go. I was gonna say, don't get me wrong.
Jada.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. Like I get it, but like, it was like I'm gonna grandstand on such a level when nobody was asking my opinion about this. Mm-hmm. So that was that. What else do we got? So we talked about Harry Styles. A couple of new. There's always talks of people potentially talking about joining the joining the MCU in general.
Right.
The latest two. So like I guess like in August it was Chris Pine and Ryan Gosling were in talks to join.
There's Wonder Twins.
There's one, yeah, maybe. But now the most recent two are Jamie Dornan from the 50 Shades movies.
Okay.
And Arnold Schwarzenegger has apparently had a talk with Kevin Feige.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Absolutely no word on...
He'll be Thanos. It was me, Galactus.
Yeah, well, that was actually my first thought, actually, was that it was going to be Galactus. But I don't know who he would be, but they're saying he's going to be somebody, so okay.
Well, cool. They got Stallone.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true, too, right? Like, and I
with all the CG and everything, what's the diff? Mm-hmm. Could have anybody.
And then we had the whole Morbius trailer that just came out too, which
I did not see the Morbius trailer.
Yeah.
Is there that?
Yeah, a lot of that. It's mostly that. But
it's Morbius. What's his fucking deal?
I don't know. He was a doctor who he went through. So it was very much a Doctor Strange thing, except where Doctor Strange got to become a wizard, he becomes like a vampire.
Ooh. Got the shitty end of the stick on that one.
Yeah, that's what I agree. But
I'd totally rather be the Sorcerer Supreme.
But my question is, does that, because it's Sony, but it's also Marvel, like it's that partnership kind of thing, and what they did in Venom, I don't think we discussed this, but at the end of Venom, he
Venomizes?
No, he has this moment where he like lays down in bed and all of a sudden there's like a glitch and then all of a sudden his apartment is totally different. He's now in the multiverse.
Who?
Venom.
Oh.
So it's like...
What did that?
What's that?
What did the blip?
Spider-Man Far From Home.
Oh.
So... Or that's what they're like leaning into anyways.
Is that what happened in part 2, Venom?
Yeah, that was the post-credit scene for part 2.
Oh, way to go.
Yeah. Well, I gave it as much time as I could.
I
You were
really
going to see it
jumping on that
anyways.
one. Yeah, no, it wasn't really...
But
it made a lot of money.
It did well.
It's one of the 2 that made over 200 million or something like that. Mm-hmm. Sure, Bond was up there too.
Yeah, I'm sure it's fine. But the so like there's all that kind of stuff going on, like with Sony kind of crossing over more with Marvel, like outside of just Spider-Man. So I'm wondering if the potential is that that's going to be the first official appearance of Blade,
Right.
because Blade is they confirmed he was his voice in Eternals.
Well, I guess he can. He
But-
probably knows them. He's as old as the hills, fucking Blade.
Well, so I'm curious. Yeah, I'm curious to see how that goes. If that's going to be his first entrance,
Blade.
official entrance into the MCU. I don't know. We'll see.
Blade's in like the dark. Blade's gonna be rated R, man.
Yeah.
Blade's like a dark.
No, but Blade doesn't have to.
Character.
None of it. Like the other one, the first one wasn't.
Yes, it was.
It was rated R in the States, not here.
Blade with Wesley Snipes.
Yeah, we went and saw it without sneaking in.
Oh yeah, well we're Canada.
Yeah, no. Well, that's what I'm saying though. Is it's not
two? It
rated.
was two. Two must have been rated R. Two's the best one.
No, none of them were rated R here. They were all.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh.
they were all 14 plus here.
I'm gonna look into that.
So, which puts them up because I mean it's
Blade 2 kicked ass.
yeah, but I mean there's like it follows all the PG-13 rules. They said fuck once. They said like the violence was what it was. There's no real
Yeah,
blood.
it was like, well, they're fighting monsters and stuff.
But it's like the same thing with all the Avengers movies. Is what do you do when you have to kill everybody? It's like, well, that's going to be rated R violence. Not if they just turn to ash.
Yeah, and then yeah, true, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So really,
And
there's
then the Brood took the rain and blood thing right for their entrance. They're like, oh god, it's raining blood.
oh they dove into that at just the right time.
Gangrel.
I loved Gangrel.
Gangrel was a fucking man.
Like even though he was the shittiest wrestler, he had the best entrance.
He was
period.
super cool.
His music was awesome.
Yeah.
I would just play
Based on
that.
entrance alone.
Well, and he'd come up through the floor and like it was just
Edge
like a whole,
came in during Crown Jewel like that.
yeah.
He did his Brood entrance because he had to get hardcore because Seth Rollins crossed the line.
Oh.
Whoa!
You think you know him. You don't know him.
You do not.
You don't. Last thing to talk about in the Marvel universe is Michael Keaton is currently shooting some Vulture scenes, but nobody knows for what. Yes.
Vulture, the new show.
Yes.
Probably going to be his new show. It's goofy as fuck.
Yeah, the world according
like a
to
slapstick.
It's literally a shot-for-shot remake of the world according to Jim, only with Vulture and his family.
Yep.
And it's like line for line, even like they call him Jim constantly.
I feel like it could be like a Adult Swim cartoon.
Courtney Thorne-Smith reprises her role. So yeah, that was that for that. The other big stuff going on right now, Vin Diesel is trying to squash his beef with The Rock, so he can get him back for the final.
Of course, that's hilarious because like they're not doing as good of numbers.
Like it
So
did
like, get
huge.
us out of this pandemic, please.
Well, but here's the thing. Like 8 did really well, and then 9 didn't do as well, but nothing's doing as well right now. So it's like I'm not trying to defend Vin because fuck him, but like the
well, once you hear that CD he came out with, there is. I will go to the ends of the earth for this man, and I will play his music while I do it.
yeah, nobody. Somebody's on Twitter right
I'm
now.
going to look it up tonight, actually.
Yeah,
it must be on Spotify.
Yeah, somebody's on Twitter right now, and they're like, I'm drawing a picture of Vin Diesel every day until he drops more music, and so it's just like really shitty drawings of like Vin Diesel.
Oh, did you see the Drake and Kanye West were hanging out in Drake's Toronto? I wonder if Drake didn't mop the floor with Ye, if he would be. Well, I think their beef was completely fake, anyways.
Oh, of course. Most rap beefs.
He's probably
are
like,
fake.
help me, help! Oh my God, Drake better not show up at church.
The
That's
only-
where Marilyn Manson's going to be hanging out there.
The only rap beefs that have been proven to be real are the ones that have ended in gun violence.
Yeah.
All the other ones feel, at the very least, like they're solely.
That's why nobody believe our beefs, man.
I know. Fuck you.
Couple of shots got to be blah, blah.
Yeah. Braka.
That's fucking right. The new Mastodon album came out.
Yes.
It's totally amazing.
You told me about you. We talked about that last
I don't give a shit.
Yeah,
Talk
okay.
about it every fucking time, man.
There you go. Mastodon.
Get it. Today.
This episode brought to you by Mastodon, I guess.
It's going to be beauty.
And then the final thing to talk about.
Grey's Anatomy.
Yep.
Has it been on too long or not long enough?
The answer is not long enough. When it gets to season 40, we'll talk.
Oh my God.
It has to be on, and it has to be like Survivor, where it's 2 seasons a year.
I think that eventually they'll go into a room and it'll be Ellen Pompeo's like head, and it'll be like all this boop, 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 and then like maybe an arm sticking out, and she's still like, save their lives.
Oh my God. No.
What should we do with the hospital if we unplug? You know, if the power goes out, then Ellen will die.
The final episode.
She is the hospital.
There you go. The final episode should be just her head. Yeah, her head in a jar, but it's still alive, still animated. And the door opens. Their door opens, and there's a silhouette on her, and she just goes, "Dreamy, you came back." And then that's the end. But also, I have a new thing, is that the final episode of every TV show needs to reveal that it's part of the Transformers cinematic universe.
Oh my God,
you haven't seen a Transformer the entire time, but the very last scene,
part of the
like Bumblebee pulls up, and then like Ellen Pompeo jumps in, and it's like, "Let's go, B."
Or they just look over and on the mantle is a picture of Bumblebee and them.
Anything like that.
Yeah, you're like, what the shit?
I started that with The Walking Dead. I'm like, if The Walking Dead had any balls, the last episode would reveal that they were
to the SpongeBob universe.
That'd be amazing. Hey, they're under the sea, so it could totally be happening at the same time.
That's right.
Wow, looks like you're all getting killed by zombies. All right, well.
I absolutely loved that.
Thank you very much. Hurt my throat more than I wanted it to. Well, because I always
Oh my God, you almost sound like, what's her name from Zordon? What was that fucking bitch's name?
Oh, God. You mean the robot that didn't have a gender? Yes.
Yes.
That was voiced by a man?
Yes.
Okay.
That bitch. Oh my God. So Lil Nas X was on Maury.
Finally.
To, I don't know, something about his baby not being his baby. I don't fucking know. Because he gave birth to Montero, and now he's asking, what's the baby daddy? Is it the real baby? I don't fucking know. Finally. One of them gave birth. They're fighting over who's the baby daddy. Daddy, baby. I don't fucking know. But yeah, he was on Maury.
How old does he have to become just Nas X?
Ooh, good call.
And when does Nas come into the picture?
Oh, and then Nas is going to be like, well, sorry, bud.
Yeah.
Like, I'm Nas.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm Lil Nas.
I'm Nas, and I'm infinitely cooler than you are.
Oh, yeah. You shouldn't say that. That's something a phobe. I'm sure somebody will think of it, whatever a phobe it is.
Yeah.
Phobophobe. What if I have a terrifying fear of phobes?
It's called current coolophobia. Yeah, this guy's the current guy, but Nas is better. And it's just like you say that about anything, where you're just
I say that about everything.
Yeah, you're just sitting there. It's like, yeah, that guy looks suave and all, but Humphrey Bogart was cooler, and you're like,
ain't nobody as bougie as me, motherfucker. I love the term bougie.
I do like bougie as well.
I've been watching a lot of Maury lately.
That's problematic, dude. Why?
I'm just on YouTube, and then suddenly, you know what I mean? They're ripping ingrown toenails out, and then I'm on Maury.
I've been watching like Mr. Beast constantly, which is funnier.
I'd rather watch Maury. That's more true TV. That's more real life down to it, you know?
Nothing more true than the same woman finding the 50th man who's probably... This guy's definitely... I know I got gangbanged that one time, and it was a 74 guy.
I don't know how.
But this is definitely the one who was the father.
There's no way. I never had sex with anybody else. This can't be real. And I love, too, because the guy... They still get the guy, too. Mm-hmm. He's still like, baby, I'm sorry. And they're like, well, you sort of are still the dad.
Yeah.
And it's like, fuck you, I am the fuck out of here. Boo, boo.
Yeah. You brought me on this show for all this nonsense. We're done.
Yeah. I mean, it's not even my kid.
Yeah.
But you still will now have to raise the kid.
Yeah.
Because they put you on Maury. And when you sign the contractual agreement to be on Maury and stay in a hotel, you've signed on to now raise this baby.
Oh, no.
Imagine that. That was like a free night in a hotel, raise a baby.
I'm wondering if...
That's a good deal.
That could theoretically be true.
The hotel has a pool.
I look up every now and again just to see if you're looking up, and you've constantly been looking up.
So are you. I see you looking up.
Well, because I keep looking up to see if you're looking
And that's
up.
why I'm doing it.
I can't disprove that. It is a flawless argument.
Yep. It certainly is.
All right. So speaking about people who aren't other people's fathers, Andrew Cassese from Revenge of the Nerds is not our father, and we interviewed him.
We did. It was awesome.
Because our dads won't talk to us because mine's dead. That's not why he won't talk to me. It's because I won't buy a Ouija board because I'm scared.
And they're terrifying.
But I'm scared that it might be for reals.
It is. That's why you don't freaking do it. Parker Brothers, come on. They make Pringles.
Mattel. It's like, yeah, what, you think Mousetrap can't trap a mouse?
Oh,
Jesus.
yeah. You don't think Pringles can bring back the dead?
They have.
They will, again.
If you stack, you have to stack the right ones. It's a regular, a pizza, and then like Wendy's had a flavor for a little bit.
Oh, they did.
Yeah.
What about the new Justin Bieber flavored Timbit?
Oh, I don't even want to fucking talk
They
about that.
taste exactly like Justin Bieber's.
People are literally going
Depression.
in asking for Bieber balls.
I want those Bieber balls. I want those Bieber balls.
Why are they covered in Oreo cookie crumbs?
Ooh.
But yeah, that's the thing. If you're not from the U.S.,
They should make a Shania Twain tasting donut. Yeah.
like old.
I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, that's it.
No fucks given, bud.
So your vagina tastes like a Timbit. That don't impress me much. But yeah, so that is a thing that's going on here. If you are, well, I guess Tim Hortons is more of a force in the U.S. than it was before.
Yeah, there's like one.
If you there's a bunch, and like if you, particularly in New York State, like I think there's one in Times Square now.
Oh.
But I know
we've made it.
Yeah, we did it. But like
they're next to that cowboy guy in his underwear.
It bled into New York, but I don't think it went any further than that. Well, it's because like
they never made it to Jersey, baby.
No, they didn't. But
what is that? People calling in?
Yeah, no, it was just something disconnecting for us. It's something that they can't hear. And this is the electronic equivalent of walking into a spider web when you're really far away. Nobody else knows what you're doing, but you reacted to it, and now we're all a part of it.
Oh, fuck. I had no idea. I thought everybody could hear it.
No, nobody could hear it, and you just fucking blew the entire episode.
Well, redo.
Right.
Well, there's a fucking throw this one in the trash.
We need to dive into Andrew Cassese hard now.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So we had a great talk with him. We're going to play the first chunk of the interview now. Next week, we are doing Revenge of the Nerds 2. We'll get into that in a minute. And we're going to play clips from our interview with him that you won't hear here, talking about the movie. And then the same day as we release that, I spit everywhere, but the same day as we release that, I'm going to release the whole uncut interview.
It's fucking awesome.
So let's get right into it. Let's talk to Andrew. And we are very lucky here today. You knew him as Wormser in the Revenge of the Nerds movies, and he's been so kind to come and talk to us today. Andrew Cassese, how we doing, sir?
Hey, how you guys doing? Thanks for having me on. It's great to be here.
I'd say way too nice as we mucked around with the computer. It didn't work. Lots of technical difficulties. Lots of charades.
A lot of charades.
Like half the interview was in charades.
You know, you got it going on. That's all that matters. You're making it happen.
Mm-hmm.
We are
all the past is prologue.
That's right. It's true.
You betcha. All right, so we'll get into kind of the obvious of it first, because you were such a young actor at the time, the Revenge of the Nerds stuff. And what is it like getting into acting? Like, how do you get into acting so young? How do you decide you want to do that? And
That's an interesting question. You don't do anything on your own when you're young, so my parents had a lot to do with it. I was always a rambunctious kid, and I would sing a lot. I was way into music and singing, and I still am. And so somebody thought, it was actually a teacher thought, there's a production of this local production happening, theater production, musical. It was Oliver. So why don't your kid should audition for this, or you should audition for this. I don't know if they just asked me and I asked my parents, or they, everybody knows each other. It's not that big a town, or I guess it's kind of big now, but it's certainly grown. But
are you talking about New York City?
I'm talking about Patchogue, Long Island. Actually, just got a mention in the series. What is it? The Hulu series. I don't know. Can I mention Hulu? I don't know.
That's fine. I'm under no contract.
Or not. just mentioned in the by Steve Martin in that, and what is it called?
Only Murders in the Building.
But they kind of threw all these Long Island towns under the bus. I was like, my brother called me. He was all excited. Oh, they mentioned Patchogue in this show that my parents and I and everybody had been following, and so we were all tuned in to watch. And I was like, they kind of kicked us in the butt. That was kind of mean. But,
I like even that's off of somebody that's been in movies, that in a movie when they mention where you're from, you're like, yeah, that's me, that's me.
Well, Patchogue, whoever mentions Patchogue, it's like
we still react that
place.
We still react that way. We're Canadian, and if you just mention Canada in general,
it's like, yeah.
It's good to have pride in where you're from. It's
even if they're making fun, who cares? It's an honor to be nominated.
What was it, that Simpsons episode where they're at the very end? They're like, I can't believe we made the Canadian national basketball team. It was 2 children, and that was and we were we're high fiving. They were
good kids.
They were quite good.
Good hustle.
But yeah, it was that. So some of the adults in my life got me. Were like, this kid should be doing that kind of thing, and I was lucky enough to make that connection after that. And my dad, is a show business, not a show business guy, but he's been in bands all his life. So I want to give a nod to my dad for being like, I'm gonna make something out of this. After I did a couple musical theater, local theaters things, and figured out how to get an agent, which we did wrong did it wrong over and over again until somebody took pity on us, was like, you're not going about this exactly the right way. This is what you're supposed to do. And that person was like, actually there's an audition for, they're looking for a vacation replacement for this play, this Broadway show that had just won a Tony.
Oh, wow.
And he should go in and audition for it. And I got that part. So I ended up a couple weeks later, I'm on Broadway. And I think my parents, the way they tell the story, they were sitting in the audience opening night and they were just like, their jaws dropped. They were like, how did this happen?
That's amazing.
Like 3 weeks later.
Yeah. Maybe not exactly 3 weeks, but it was
soon,
very quick. It was a quick turnaround and they're the ones that really made it happen. So I'm very thankful for that.
I was going to ask if your parents were your agents, and then you told us more.
No, they were never. I knew a lot of people whose parents were agents, and that was a popular theme, but they weren't. Although I guess in the beginning, he kind of was, not technically, but my dad was kind of being, sort of shepherding your the career. But our parents are all of our agents. It's just not necessarily talent agents or show business agents, but they're all shepherding us, into the next, hopefully, in the best case scenario.
For sure. Speaking too of the audition process, now everything you hear, any audition story you ever hear, always seems so scary and nightmarish. What is that like for a kid? Like, what's the pressure?
Yeah, I don't know if you feel pressure or if I felt any pressure. I wasn't, you did a lot of auditions. You do a lot of commercial auditions, and so you just sort of like get used to it. And I guess the only weird thing is when you have a role that you sort of connect with and you really want, and then you start thinking about it and wanting it, and then it kind of gets in your head a little bit, and maybe that helps you elevate your performance. Maybe that ruins your performance, whatever way that goes. But most things are just like, oh, I'm not even sure what this is. It's a commercial. It's for a soup company. I'm not 100% sure. And this is what they want you to say. You go in and do this shtick, and you go into a room. It is a little intimidating because, especially commercial auditions as a kid, because you go into a room and it would be packed with kids. There would be, 40 kids in a tiny, room, and everybody's doing their thing, and there's all that kid energy. But you walk in and you immediately see, the amount of competition you have, and that's a little intimidating. And you're trying to think, well, what distinguishes me from this? Or if you walk in and you're totally different from everybody, you might think, oh, how did I even get in here? Although that is the wrong mentality, because a lot of times if you're different, that's your advantage.
Right.
So, it plays in a million ways, but I think that if there's anything intimidating about it, it would be walking through the door and just seeing the room just packed with people for one job, and that's a little intimidating.
Yeah, for sure. Now, what happens when you land these roles? Like you land a role on a Tony Award winning play, or you get Revenge of the Nerds or something. What is it like amongst your friends where you're like, I have to go do this fun thing for a little while?
Yeah, I don't think people really understood it or like knew like, oh, that's interesting. You're gonna be gone for a couple weeks. So that's kind of weird. It's like you're going on a vacation or something. Like it's not real. But when I came back from having done Nerds, that there was a lot of buzz about it, and people had obviously been talking about it in ways that I didn't, necessarily understand. And I just sort of walked back into school, and it's like everybody is different somehow.
Were you the coolest guy in school?
For one day, and then I was the biggest nerd in school for the rest of my life.
They saw like the movie, they're like, oh yeah, there he is.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know how many of my friends actually saw the movie.
It was rated R, wasn't it?
It was rated R, yeah.
That's right.
So there was a disconnect there too with you had good people,
good parents
looking after you, yeah, being like, kid, you need to see this. This is a rite of passage.
That's right, exactly, and it really was.
Yeah.
It was. I think it was definitely.
Mom was like, I got the night shift. She'd leave a pack of smokes, a bottle of whiskey, and a couple VHS tapes. Revenge of the Nerds 1 and 2. Good old mom.
There it is.
Oh man, it's so good. So you're on set and you're in these different things, and a lot of times come up where you might be the only kid or one of very few kids on set. Obviously, that's kind of the way it was on Nerds.
Yeah, on the set, yeah.
How does that, like, what's the dynamic with the other actors, like, in that scenario?
Yeah, they definitely took me in, kind of thing, and treated me like a kid brother. They were like my older brothers. It was that kind of a dynamic. I think they also felt bad for me because I have to get shot off to school all the time. There's all these rules about how much schooling you get, and you tutor, so you're being treated differently in that regard, and not getting to hang out a lot of the times. Whenever you have downtime, you're in school. And that movie especially, because I think the first AD was like, we got to get this kid out of the way so he doesn't see anything.
I was totally gonna ask the same thing. How old were you when they made the movie?
I was 11. And I turned 12 during the filming.
Okay, so in the scene where like they're all watching the cameras that they planted everywhere, you're not seeing obviously.
Yeah, there's nothing
the
on the
nudity.
television.
There's nothing on the TV. There's not. I don't know if your character was not on the panty raid. I'm sure he was. Was he drilling things in the ceiling?
Definitely in on the panty raid.
You were in the ceiling.
Yeah. It was, but you don't see it.
Yeah. It's not. It's all cut together and blah blah blah.
The TV is like a. They take the tube out and they put the lighting guys put lights in there, and there's a guy offset actually physically changing the lights.
So lights are just going light,
TV.
2 lights. Yeah.
That's genius.
Because you can't have a television because the light temperature conflicts with everything else, and so it just is a mess. So
it should totally just be like the lighting tech guy.
Yeah.
He's like, that's my union job. Put that thing down. Click, 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 click.
It's a fun job. Those guys have a lot of fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
So like, I was gonna ask that the same thing too. It's like you just ditched school, but you're saying that you have to, as a child actor, you have to put in so many hours of schooling, so it's not seen as like, I don't know, child labor or whatever.
There's all kinds of rules. There's all kinds of rules in California, especially, which is where the production company. We were in Arizona, but the production company was from California, and it's a union job, so they have to follow all those rules.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Which I think is actually good because you get, what I mean? Oh my God, it'd be like Drew Barrymore running around snorting coke, partying with Steven Spielberg.
Todd names names, by the way.
Oh, I name names. I'm like Jackie Collins, honey.
So what is the schooling situation like, though? So you're there, and then you're obviously, offset, and now you're kind of on your own with a tutor and that sort of thing. How do you focus on that when you're at the same time going like, oh my God, I'm in a movie, and this is like this crazy thing happening?
Yeah, it's hard to stay focused. It's hard to care about that when you're making a movie. Care about your math homework. When it's like, there's so much fun going out, and the sun is shining, and and you just want to play, and you're a kid, but you're also you're being tutored. It's a one-on-one thing, so it's hard to
slack off when they're staring at you in the eyes right in front of you.
You're sort of sequestered there. And, they have these trailers, dressing room trailers kind of thing. People have probably seen them. And it's a little, cubicle space, and every, the actors get a dressing room or whatever, but they convert one of those into a school.
Oh, nice.
And so you're in this tiny space with this, this tutor. And your relationship with the tutor starts to matter a lot. I've had some really cool ones and some not so cool ones over the years, and that makes a huge difference. I had one tutor when I was doing a TV 101. It's a TV series for CBS, we did not get along with her at all. Or maybe it was Nerds 2. It might have been Nerds 2. I can't remember now which project it was, but just one teacher we did not get along well, and it was a destructive kind of thing, and it turns into a whole soap opera, that kind of thing.
Oh wow!
So what time, what time in the morning would you go shoot the movie?
Depends on what your call time is,
right?
What they're doing. You're entirely at the mercy of the schedule.
When they need you.
Sometimes you get an early call, and sometimes you get an afternoon call, and sometimes you get a day off, so it works.
Right.
It works
so when you would go to do your schooling, what time would you end? Like, they'd be like, okay, you're done. We're going to continue filming with some other people, but you're done because you got to go do your schooling. What would be like dinner time or?
No. Anytime that you're not on set, they put you in school. And you have 3 hours for the day.
Okay.
But the AD was always like, "Oh, we got to log extra hours in case we need him one day, and we don't have, can't put him in school." So they were always logging hours to try to keep me from seeing stuff, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But basically, if you're done for the day filming, they're not going to keep you in school. They're going to send you home because they want to, have the option to call you as early as possible the next
right.
day. And there's a rule about that even for adults, what your turnaround time can be. So,
cool. So working on a movie like Revenge of the Nerds, a rated R movie, that sort of thing, how do your parents react on set? Like when they hear about what's going on, what your character's involved in, and what the people around you are kind of getting up to?
There was a lot of nervousness about it, and a lot of like, oh, what are we going to let him see? What are they going to, what's the situation going to be? And fortunately, I guess my mom, she was pretty cool. She's pretty hip, and she gets it kind of thing. So she was able to manage that and make those decisions pretty well. But there was nothing that much going on. Like, it's not naked women running around
everywhere. It's not like a Benny Hill at the end of Benny Hill all over the place.
If only.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
What a fast way to grow up that would be.
When you turned whatever the legal age is to see a rated R movie, was that the first thing you went to do was rent Revenge of the Nerds? Did you see it beforehand?
I got to see a premiere of it up in New York. So that was the first rated R movie that I saw, and it was a little like, oh wow,
you're like, that's what I was doing, wicked.
Yeah. I wasn't 100% sure about I wasn't 100% keyed in on all the dirty parts until I saw it.
Until you saw it.
And then I saw everything.
Oh yeah.
with not only my mom and dad there, but like a whole extended family of aunts and uncles and all that.
That's
kind of
always
thing,
the best when you're at that formative age, seeing nudity with your family.
Yeah.
Say, do you? Am I supposed to cover my eyes? Your mother probably wanted to say cover your eyes, but you're at your movie, so she's like, "Oh, I'm just gonna hold back on this one, and just let him see it."
Exactly.
How I'm thinking about the director in this situation. So, what's your relationship with the director? How does he kind of explain to you, okay, here's what's about to happen, or here's what you think here's what you are seeing, even though you're not seeing it?
I had a great relationship with Jeff Canoe. We hit it right off immediately in the first audition, and he was great to work with. He I don't know if he did any prepping or for any of that stuff, or like, here's what you're gonna be prepared for. But we worked together on that scene with the boobs, and you know, he sort of left it up to me. There was copy that I had seen, and most of that is from that copy. But it had, I think it was had gotten taken out, or they had just left it up to whatever. But I had remembered, you know, basically what the whole speech was, and sort of gave a version of it in that. And so I think there was a little like, oh, what are you going to do for this scene? Tell me what you're going to say, or, you know, what do you have in mind? And that's a rare thing, you know, for a 12-year-old, a position for a 12-year-old to be put in. But if I was fortunately prepared for that, and it all worked out pretty well.
Nice. What did, like, when you would go off to do your schooling or whatever at the end of the day, would the other guys hang out with themselves after, or did they all go to their trailers, or do you even know if whatever happened or not?
Yeah, everybody's doing their own thing, but they did try to hide me a couple times. They were like, "Oh, the AD's looking for you. Get in my trailer." And I hear the guy, "Oh, you know, we're looking. Where's Andrew?" It's, "Oh, we haven't seen him. You know, we don't know. I think he went that way." Kind of thing, you know? And so they were looking out for me in that regard.
Right.
They wanted me to experience what was going on and just be a part of the group. You know?
Right,
So,
right. The camaraderie.
Yeah, it definitely made me feel that way. So
That's great. It's still like is crazy to me, because I did double check, because I knew you were young, obviously, but I double checked what your age was, and when I saw that, I'm like, my daughter turns 11 this year. Well, she turns 11 in February, and I was like, that's what could be happening. And I mean, like it absolutely blew my mind.
Yeah, I think about that when I see it, my nieces and nephews, and think of how old they are, and you know, it's I definitely have that moment of,
Yeah, they could be starring in a movie.
yeah, exactly.
Man, oh man. Now, at what point do you find out that there's even talk of a sequel, or that there's definitely going to be a sequel, or anything like that?
Yeah, I was thinking about this because you said this. You know, you had mentioned Nerds too, and I don't really remember. You know, they must have called the agent and worked it out with the agent, and I'm sure the agent at the time, Graham Chambers at the Bonnie Kidd agency, was Bonnie Kidd, KIDD. That was supposedly the name, you know, but it was the Kidd agency. They just worked it out and called up and were like, "Hey, they're doing this sequel." So I don't remember that well, or how that all came about. But I do remember, you know, being pretty excited to do another, you know, to have another movie to be doing that.
Wait a second, so you said it was KIDD, Kid Agency?
Yeah.
Like as if a kid wrote the word kid and you accidentally put another D in?
Exactly.
Like, is this like a trustworthy company to really? Oh my Lord.
Yeah, who's running this thing?
So now the second movie, you got a different director. You've got different kind of locations. You're in paradise, all that. How is the experience different between the two?
Yeah, a little older, a little wiser, I guess. Joe Roth was the director of the second movie, and I think it was like his first feature, I think, or very early on. He had done something before that. He's
primarily an editor,
like the Kentucky Fried Movie or something.
Yeah.
Remember
Ooh.
that? Oh yeah, I'm in Kentucky Fried Movie doing like some basketball scenes with the Belushi or somebody, whoever's in that, Chevy Chase or somebody.
Nice.
And that's a funny clip of Joe Roth. But he was great. He took on a little father figure role and had a relationship with me. And I remember I was a little too like of a smart ass though for him. He tried to like do a magic trick for me, like a card trick or something like that. But I was following it. I was like, oh, you know, it's the trick, or whatever. And he was kind of like frustrated with me. I feel bad about that because he was such a nice guy. Well, I ruined it. I was kind of a dick.
He's directing a movie about
guy, you know?
He's directing a movie about a bunch of geniuses, and he's trying to trick them. That's not great.
Yes, but they don't cast geniuses; they cast actors. So
I know. Now the gap between the movies was long enough that obviously, again, you said a little older, a little wiser. You know, puberty happens. You're growing up on camera. And this is something I think about a lot of the time because, like, so many kids who do that and they're on, like, a TV show that goes through all of those years and you have to have all those experiences. What is that like to be on the big screen and in that form?
That was weird going through puberty like that because a lot of people thought they had recast the character. And I would have to explain that a lot. It's like, no, that's still me. I'm still in the set. You know, I came back and
aged.
oh, didn't they get a different kid for the second one? No, that's me. You know,
No, just time.
Just also underscored just how different I must have looked to people because to me, I looked, you know, like me still.
Yeah.
You know,
I thought it was you the whole time.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I never was like, is that a new guy? I was like, clearly it was you.
I think I'm you. I think I'm me. Maybe I'm you. I'm not 100%.
Oh God.
It's very hard to keep track
God,
of my
where's this
mind.
interview gone to?
Wait, am I still me? No.
I took like 4 hits of acid before we sat down. This is really messing me up.
I tell him not to do that, but it always ends up churning out gold. So how do you not?
I remember Curtis when I walked into the first meet. There was like a script read or a table read, or maybe they were just getting everybody together. And Curtis Armstrong, like, couldn't believe what I looked like. He was stunned and just made a huge deal of it. It's like, Andrew, you look so different. And he just couldn't get over it. It took him a long time to get over it.
He also didn't think it was you. Clearly.
He did not think it was
Yeah.
me. Yeah, he could not believe it when I walked in. Yeah.
That would be a very funny thing. You ever did like any of those like reunion things at a con or whatever, and then you mentioned being at the second one. It was like, no, you weren't there. What are you talking about?
You were in that movie.
Now
Do you do those cons?
I do. I've done a few of them.
Oh,
yeah,
cool.
Yeah. It is.
Those are
cool.
neat,
It's an interesting
eh?
thing.
yeah.
They're very fun, and it's really great to see the cast and to hang out with them again, and so I have a lot of fun.
Did they ever do like where most of you are there, like that kind of thing, where it's like the cast
Yeah,
of?
I'm usually there with you know, when they do a group thing.
Oh, cool.
You know, I don't do a thing on my own kind of thing, but yeah, so it's usually a big you know, as many people as they can get. Usually it's sort of a rotating, you know, band of characters, but they usually get like, you know, 4 or 5 of us. So.
Nice.
Right on.
And does it feel kind of like you guys probably see each other like not all the time, obviously, but enough that you just kind of like, you know, fall into your old ways, like old friendship?
Oh yeah. There's well, not necessarily old friendship, but you know what our relationships are now.
Yeah.
And I know Curtis and Don Gibb have a whole bit routine that they play up for the crowd of, you know, this little like sort of rivalry, and like Don Gibb always plays like he's actually an alpha beta and still hates us.
I love that. That's what I was saying. Like when you said
It's a lot
like,
of fun,
did they revert back to the nerds? Like,
Yeah,
you know,
no,
when they,
it's-
yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, I don't think we can end on anything better than that. Andrew, thank you so much for coming and hanging
guys for
out.
having me.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for having me, and thanks for it was fun chatting. Yeah.
Oh,
absolutely.
it was a blast. And this is the second time I got to talk to you because we connected originally when we were on you judged Dueling Decades, and I was a contestant
Yes.
on that. I looked back, I didn't win, but no hard feelings, whatever.
I thought I was just gonna like choose every 80s. I was just that was my plan going from the beginning. I was just like, it's all 80s.
Yeah.
But the 70s turned out to be pretty good, and 90s surprised me too. So it was a tough choice a lot of the time.
Oh, it's a fun show to get into with that sort of thing. But yeah, thank you so much. We will. I'll let you know when this is going to go out. I think it's going to be I think it's going to be about mid-October. It's going to go.
Time for the Dune release. I'm gonna be competing with the Dune release.
Oh yes.
Yes.
This is
Which is weird. This is the first. This is the first one we're ever releasing in theaters too, which is very weird.
simultaneously with our streaming service.
It's all the same now. Everybody's got screens in their home. It's all democratized. There's only one screen, you know.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right.
That'd be great. Yeah, let me know about that, and thanks for having me on. And
Thank you.
You guys be well. Absolutely.
You too. Thank you so much.
Right on.
All right.
Take it easy.
Take care. So that was Andrew. It wasn't funny at the end. He was crying.
Sorry. It was really, that was the deep part when he got really deep and he gave that monologue. Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, Jesus Christ. But no, he was awesome. He was so fun to talk to. And yeah, we're going to hear more from him next week when we do our next movie.
The monologue he was doing actually was one that they had cut out of him in Schindler's List because they said it was too intense.
No, it was from the sequel to Death of a Salesman called Death of Another Salesman. And
Why do they keep going in there?
Yes.
Why?
It's a sales trap. Yes. But yeah, so we're really excited about that. But we got to do what we usually do, which is talk about the movie we're going to see next week. That is Revenge of the Nerds 2. Spoiler alert.
Well, what do you know?
Let's have a listen to the trailer.
We're back. Nerds.
Yes, after years of abuse and humiliation, they finally earned a trip to paradise.
This is going to be a great year.
Nerds.
Geeks. 2 rum and cokes, please.
I don't want nerds staying in this hotel.
But even in paradise, there's still the odd men out.
Huh, checkout time.
Over here is the beautiful Olympic-sized swimming pool.
We gotta get rid of these guys. We gotta get rid of them in a major way.
Get your hands up. Turn around.
We outsmarted them, we framed them, we got them arrested. We're doing nothing!
Last year we were messed with, yes, but we fought back and we won. We can do it again, guys. I say we fight back now.
It may take vision.
Can I get you a drink or something?
It may take guts. It may even take all summer. But once again, the odd will get even. Revenge of the Nerds 2. Nerds in Paradise.
And we are back. God, it's a fun one. We were just discussing during the thing. Todd doesn't remember the big chunks of this. So we're going to find out, because actually that is, as we finish recording this, we're going to do that episode, the one that's going to be running next week. Usually we're pretty far ahead, and we do have movies that are already ready to go beyond that. But this one, I didn't want to make...
Don't be nervous.
I didn't want to make poor Andrew wait any longer. I didn't
want to let our adoring public wait even one more moment.
Well, I don't like sitting on an interview this long, because that's when like a file ends up getting like accidentally deleted or something.
Yeah, it's all fart smelling. It's all warm.
Oh, we don't want to deal with that either. So yeah. So
you got to air those interviews out, baby. You got to throw them right out there when they're fresh.
No doubt. All right, guys, that is it for this episode. So but tune in to hear more from Andrew Cassese next week as we talk about Revenge of the Nerds 2. Visit us at miscastcommentary.com. Email us podcast@miscastcommentary.com. Find us on Twitter at miscastpodcast. I'm at miscastjoe. Todd's at miscasttodd. You can see that tweet he did that one time. And
it's a good one.
It was fine. It was, I would say it was the least
I was on it. I started Instagram. I'm on all the titty ones. It's like all just titty pics.
There's tons of titties.
I know it's like all, but it crashed. I think I got titty overload on the thing. You'll have to see it later.
Okay.
I'm gonna start putting videos on.
Putting videos on?
Titty videos.
Nice. He only follows accounts where one titty bigger than the other titty.
Oh, way bigger though. Like way bigger.
Yes.
Like a way off. Like a D and A.
I don't want to get into it, but I dated a girl who it was a very, very drastic thing.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with it at all. She was an amazing...
You should see one of my testicles compared to the other one.
She was an amazing young lady. She broke up with me because I couldn't pick her up at the airport, but other tthan that, she was great.
I thought you were going to say because you couldn't pick her up like this by her tits because one was too small.
No, I got to get this off my chest, but I'm going to say because like this led to like only a couple months later me meeting Carrie, so I mean life got great immediately. But yeah, we were dating, and
I think you regret every moment of your life after that woman.
Yeah,
don't you?
But I had
you give your children up.
Yeah.
I think you do it all.
Yeah, it's fine. But probably. But no, she asked me to pick her up at the airport, and I said yes. And then I got called. Like I had just started in my new job, and I got called to go into work for that day. Now, this was like not the day of. I was not straight. I told her like a day and a half before or something like
Are
that.
you hoping that she's listening to this right now?
No, this
You're
is just
giving her
me.
This, please, baby.
This is just me venting this,
You
so
want
I
me
never
to
have
kill
to
my
think
family?
about it
I'll
again.
kill my family.
I would like if you did, but
Go back.
but yeah, and then so I was just like, yeah, I'm not going to be able to do it. You're going to have to call somebody else because I can't go. Can't do it. And then she just literally never spoke to me again.
Get yourself to the airport, skank. That's what you fucking should have said to her.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Well, no, because we weren't on proper QWERTY text yet. I was like, 111.
Oh, T9.
Yeah,
Get your
there it is,
T9 in your
T9.
fucking ass up, buddy. I'm rocking T. I'm going back to T9. I'm tired of this shit. This new way's ruining everything.
Well, you can get the best of both worlds with the Galaxy Fold, which is a flip phone.
$2,000. $2,000.
Yeah.
For a phone.
Well, I mean, really, like the phone you have is worth like $1,000.
No fucking way.
Yeah.
My phone is the biggest piece of shit
Well,
on the planet.
no, but that's your fault. It was like, I'm going to drop it down the Empire State Building.
No. It's like
and see
the
what
oldest
happens.
version of anything. There's
Oh.
no fucking way it's worth no $1,000.
I don't know. Like
Shit.
the cheapest phones are worth like $800. They're worth more than a computer.
It's a brick with numbers written on it. That's essentially what my fucking piece of shit
nice.
phone is.
Is it? If it's an Apple, it's worth $1,000.
Like, oh my! Oh, it's not an Apple.
Oh, okay.
It's
an Apple brick.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or is it just actually an Apple with like sticker numbers?
No, it's called Crowanway.
Oh, it's a Croatian Huawei.
I bought it from this guy outside.
All right, I'll take it.
All I can hear is like Croatian radio channels. And I can call into those very channels.
Oh, I'm excited about that.
It's like they're on speed dial or some shit. I don't know what the fuck they're even saying.
Remember when I did all the stuff that was supposed to get us signed off? And then we just started talking about some other bullshit.
No, the Crowe way.
Oh, yeah, no. And it all started because I said Twitter, and then you started talking about titties. But,
don't forget to check us out on Twatter,
Yeah.
which is everything is from the vagina's perspective.
which means we're nowhere near it.
Here's another picture on Twitter what we're not in.
Yeah. But yeah, so all those things. But catch us on TikTok at miscastcommentary there as well, and on Instagram at miscastcommentary, which is probably where Todd's posting from. I don't fucking know. But check out all those places. You know where to find us. If you're watching on YouTube, the like, the subscribe, all those good things. If you're listening to us, the rate and review and all those good things. And then find down in the notes everywhere you can find us and follow us and love us and support us. We love you guys very much, and we will see you next time. Bye-bye.
This has been Miscast Commentary with your hosts, Joe Finley and Todd Murray. Executive producer, Joe Finley. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the podcast wherever you listen. Visit www.miscastcommentary.com for all news related to the podcast. Miscast Commentary is a Miscast Media production.